Hi, everyone. Welcome back to AVPlays and welcome back to Big Ambitions. We are so excited to get started with episode 2 here. As you can see, we're standing outside of Manhattan Business School. We finished our first class, the HR basic class that I was showing you in the last episode. Now, I did spread a little bit of misinformation there. You actually do not need to finish that class to open your first business. You do need it to start hiring employees. So it still comes in handy. It's still going to be a goal in a little bit. We just didn't need to do it right away. But at that point, we've knocked it out. And at the point where you're looking to hire employees, you'll be working your store. So this saved us time in advance. Now, as you can see in the left here, we've got some new objectives from Uncle Fred. He would like us to get a $15,000 loan, rent an A1 or A2 retail building, which I will show you what that means shortly, and start our first wholesale retail business. As you can see on the screen, we are looking at Jensen Capital as a goal, and we're going to walk right over there and take out our loan. So right now it's about 1 p.m. We've got $4,000 in our bank, and it is Tuesday, day 2. So really, it's exciting to be opening a business day 2, very early. Love to see it. And we're going to talk to the Jensen Capital guy. Now, I know Uncle Fred would like us to take out a $15,000 loan. We are going to be a little bad. We're going to take out as much as we can, which is 40,000. Larry wants to know how he can help us today, and we are going to help ourselves to a new loan. And it's going to be $40,000. Daily interest is going to be $44. That is taken out regardless of how much you pay on your loan. So the daily payment is $166, and the total daily payment is $210. We are actually not going to be paying that $166, and we're only going to be paying the $44 interest towards our loan because you can't take that away. It's always going to be billed to you. But hopefully, the ideal is we'll make that $40,000 back so fast that it won't really cost us anything to not pay the $166. We're going to go ahead and click confirm here. We can definitely help you with that. I'll have the full amount transferred to your bank account right away. Thank you for doing business with us. Thank you, Jensen Capital, for getting us started with our first business. We're going to go ahead and exit the bank. And now, two things. Contacts, like I was mentioning in our last episode, every time you talk to someone, you get a new contact. Jensen Capital's right here now. And so if we need to take out a new loan at any given time, we can always call Jensen Capital, click new loan, enter the amount you'd like, and submit it. That way you don't have to go back into the store. You're knocking that out early. It makes life so much easier. You can only have $40,000 out at any given time from Jensen Capital. If I were to click confirm here, unfortunately, we're not able to handle a combined loan amount of more than $40,000 per client. Combining your existing activities at our bank with the requested amount will exceed this threshold. We can't take out anything more from them. There is one other bank in town called Van Tander, which we'll probably interact with a little bit later. But we will go ahead and hang up, close this out, and we're going to open Google Maps. Now, to achieve our objective, Uncle Fred would like us to find an A1 or A2 level store. So let me look around the map here. Perfect. So what A1 or A2 means, you'll see right here, it's 75 meters squared A2. That is going to be the size of your store. Usually A1 or A2 stores are going to have a 15 here. And what this number is your max capacity of customers for any given hour. So if you are running your store at 100% efficiency, you're going to see 15 customers every hour. Now, if you look over here to the left, you'll see this number 49, and that is your store's traffic index. So, how I like to think about this is it is the likelihood that your store is going to reach its max customers per hour. So, we have 15 customers per hour. We have a 49% likelihood of achieving that number. Now, you can always inflate this with marketing, and we'll interact with marketing a little bit later with one of the goals that Uncle Fred gives us. So, we won't look at it right now, but you can always inflate that with marketing. And I'm going to actually click on the help, marketing and traffic. When you combine your building's traffic index with any marketing you have added, you get your overall promotion score for your business. You want to reach 100% promotion to maximize your potential customers. Just bear in mind that you'll never be able to go above your store's max capacity. So if you're renting an A1 or A2, you'll never be able to get 30 customers in your store per hour, but you will be able to get to that 15 number with 100% promotion. The traffic index, which was that 49, can never be altered. So as it notes, it's always important to rent buildings with a high traffic index for your businesses. As it says for marketing, marketing can be used to supplement your traffic index to increase your promotion. Different building sizes will require different amounts of marketing. So you'll notice as you get in, you might run into a business size that has 75 customers per hour. You're going to have to spend, $6,000 or more to get that max promotion score. So as it says, you'll need to find the right combination of marketing for each business. Marketing is more effective in areas with more working class citizens, such as Industry City and Lower Manhattan and Garment District. You will need more marketing in higher end areas like Midtown. And these are the two locations you can get marketing. So we'll look at that a little bit later. But for right now, Uncle Fred wants us to rent an A1 or A2. And that A1, A2 is the different layout. So let me open up Bisman and you can get a preview of the inside of every store. So let's preview it. So an A2 is going to look like this. It's got that big area where you could put products, your shelves, or your storage area is how I always use these back rooms. You can think of it as like the back room of a store in real life that's inaccessible to customers. And then new to EA.9 is bathrooms. So each store has kind of a little area laid out for bathrooms right here. And then I'm going to kind of find an A1, which I believe this is perfect. And you'll see it's a little bit different. This one's kind of a little skinnier. So smaller backroom area, smaller bathroom, smaller floor size. We are going to go ahead and click here, and we're going to open this business. Before we do that, and I'm sorry if I'm bothering you guys by explaining, but I like this series to be kind of an educational series for how to play the game. So the 4 main rivals, as I mentioned in the last episode, have their primary neighborhoods. You'll notice that there are no main rivals for Lower Manhattan or Industry City. So as you're building your empire, you kind of want to start out there, in my opinion, because if you open too many businesses in a rival's area too early, they're going to start attacking you. They won't notice if you open up an entire empire in Lower Manhattan or an Industry City. So you'll be able to kind of monopolize those areas before attacking. So you'll have a steady income base before you go in and attack your rivals. For the purposes of this kind of tutorial that Uncle Fred has us doing, I'm going to stick to Garment District because they usually have the smaller stores. So we'll go ahead. This has the 49 traffic index, and I don't think I mentioned that gets up to 75 naturally. We're going to open it in Bisman. We'll see daily rent is $44. So every day that we rent out this building, we're going to be paying $44. So it's important to get your business up and running quickly. And the total initial payment is going to be $2,804. We have 44, so it doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and rent this building and start a new business. Now, we didn't do any research before we started, so let's open up Market Insider. Although between yesterday in game and today, it shouldn't have changed too much. We'll see bottle of wine, cigar, frozen food, pack of cigarettes. Those are going to be early demands. For this early first store for Garment District, we're actually going to just open a gift shop. And beforehand, that was actually the first store that Uncle Fred had you open up. So we're kind of inadvertently following the tutorial, even though it's a new tutorial and it doesn't have you just open up the gift store. But gift cheap is easy to get. It's pretty inexpensive and it has 81% demand. So might as well go ahead and get that knocked out early. So let's go back into Bisman. And now you'll see we have an empty retail business type. We're going to click back into that, start a new business, and it's going to be a gift shop. It says 0 competitors in the neighborhood, so no one is running a gift shop, but people are selling gift cheap out of the store. So a little interesting. Hopefully, as the series grows and as we gain fans, people will suggest names. For right now, we're going to name this Garment Gifts. And here's what this looks like in Bisman now that we have all of this information. We have a store, so we're able to kind of look at what's in front of us. So as we were just talking about, and there's a question mark if you ever need to look at it again, but promotion. Right now, our current promotion score is 49%. Marketing will knock that up to 100 eventually, but not quite yet. Satisfaction is how happy customers are with your store. As soon as the first day that your store is open completes, you'll have data here to look at, which is exciting. You're able to kind of see what the customers like, dislike about your store, so you can improvement to drive in more customers. Customer capacity, like we said, it's 15. Your capacity is affected by what you have in the store. So if a product shelf only can take 10 of an item, then your capacity will be 10 versus the building limit 15. So you can never go above your building limit, but you can be below it in customers per hour. And then this gives you data about your customers over time and the highest amount of customers per hour. As you begin to learn the trends of your store, you'll notice maybe you don't want this store to be open 24/7. Maybe it's better if it's open from 8 to 4. So you'll learn that in the insights as you gain trends over time.
Okay, good choice for your first store. You got to start somewhere, right? Now, let's get your store set up for business. Listen and learn, kiddo.
All right. Now, we've got some goals from Uncle Fred. He wants us to quit our current job. We never got a job. We were a delivery driver, so we don't have to quit. It's checked off. Then we have to purchase furniture required to open our store. The recommended items are a product panel, a cash register, a cabinet with drawers, and a stack of shopping baskets. Place this furniture in our store. Now you'll see down here we have some alerts. Our store is currently temporarily closed. We have no products to sell. We have no point of sale. And we have no shopping baskets, so our customers can't even shop in our store. Okay, and we're heading right over to AJ Peterson & Son. And of course, we sold our car yesterday, so we're walking over there. And as you can see, it's about 150 meters away from Jensen Capital. So as you guys play this on your own, if you wind up playing this on your own, you'll be able to kind of determine if this is the right play style for you. Maybe you'll get sick of walking the town, or, it gets exhausting, whatever. I still feel like early on in game, it's so easy to just live without the car. And our store is like right across the street from AJ Peterson's son. So you're able to kind of just walk there from here anyway. So we're gonna grab our flatbed spawner. And Uncle Fred would like us to grab a product panel. I know that these hold 10, so we want 2 so that we hit our store's capacity. I'm gonna also grab a job board, some shopping basket, a register, the cabinet with drawers, and then there are a few other things that we'll want. So first off, we'll want 2 storage shelves. And you notice our flatbed is at capacity. And so we'll come back. We're going to come back and grab that cleaning station and a uniform locker. But let's go ahead and check out and drop these off at our store, which, as you can see, is right here. So really not that far from AJ Peterson's site. I'm going to just park this right in here and head right back over. So the cleaning station can be assigned to cleaning employee, and they'll use that to clean the store. You can also use that to clean the store at any time. And then the uniform locker is actually new to early access 0.9. And what that does is it allows you to assign uniforms to your employees in store. Now, that is something that is going to be used for the satisfaction score of your store. So customers will notice if your employees don't have uniforms and they will complain about it. So it's something to keep in mind. All right. Now is time to organize our store. We're going to go ahead and put that uniform locker there, the cleaning station. Drop that off. Grab this, the storage shelves. So depending on your store size, you're going to want different storage shelves. In our case, this is going to be a small store, not too many sales happening. So we won't necessarily need more than 2 storage shelves. That stack of shopping baskets is going to go there. This is where our register is going to be, so we don't necessarily have to place it anywhere too fancy. Right here in the corner is fine. And these in a regular store are typically placed off on like a wall, so I'm going to just place these over here.
Look at that. It's starting to look like a real store in here. But something's missing. Oh, yeah. You need something to sell. Let's head over to the wholesaler and pick up some inventory.
Awesome. Thank you, Uncle Fred. And one last thing, we're going to just place our job board right over here above the shopping baskets. And what the job board does is it actually allows people to sign up for jobs in the store naturally. So to hire normally in the game, you have to go to a recruiter. This just allows you to bypass that. The employees you get from this, though, will be very low-skilled employees. Now, Uncle Fred has marked off New York Distro for us as a wholesale store to go to. In the game, there are now quite a few different wholesale stores. We have New York Distro, there's Toto Produce, there is a few up here. I believe this is one, yes. Stock Co. You are able to kind of explore these different wholesale stores that will give you different prices depending on the neighborhood you're in. New York Distro might be a little bit cheaper, whereas this one might be a little bit more expensive because Murray Hill is a little bit more of a high class area. So keep that in mind as you're buying from these. I am so used to New York Distro that I go here anyway, but it is something to keep in mind. And that is really only relevant in early game because in later game, we'll have contracts with New York Distro or this that'll lower the price a little bit. And then even more later on, we'll have contracts with the import-export providers to bypass the wholesale providers and take care of your products in your own warehouses. So we're going to walk over to New York Distro. And one thing to keep in mind is there are suggested product categories for each store. So with the gift shop, it was cheap gifts and umbrellas, maybe flowers, but also the high-tech Xanamin watches. But you can sell whatever you would like, regardless of store category in your store. The only issue with that is some certain products may not sell as well in a store. So let's say you're trying to sell a bag of apples in our gift shop, it might not sell as well as in a supermarket or in a fruit shop, but you can sell it in there. All right. Every store is going to need paper bags. That is the one product that every single store uses, and you do not sell it for any value. So you're giving those away for free. We are going to walk over here, and this is where Gift Cheap is. We're going to grab 2 of these. We're actually going to also grab umbrellas because they are a product you can sell in the gift store. And I'm going to wind up buying the product area for that as well. And I'm actually as well going to grab 2 flour cheap and a flour expensive because you can sell those in there as well. Let's go and place this order, $6,800, and we'll walk it back to our store. Now, I grabbed more products than we have shelves for. The 2 product shelves that we bought are only going to be able to hold 1 product type if we would like the maximum amount of customers in our store. So we're going to have to go back over to AJ Peterson and grab a few more shelves before we open our store. So we're going to drop these off in here. We're going to put these in our stores areas where they're needed. So right here, right here. It's cheap, it's cheap. Yep. Put the paper bags here, and we're going to put the rest in there.
Now this is impressive. You got all the basics set up for your first store. Well done. You're making the family proud, kid, especially me. Now, open the business and start collecting that cash. I'm rooting for you, kiddo.
Awesome. Thank you, Fred. You give me all the confidence in the world. So let's run over to AJ Peterson before we can do this. We're going to grab 2 rounded shelves. I believe the rounded shelves allow for 25 per. So we're going to grab 2 of these. And maybe 2 more of these just in case the umbrellas can't go on the rounded shelves. Head back over. And these right next to those. Give it a little space. Bang a rounded shelf. And instead of grabbing from this storage, you can actually just choose gift type. So flour cheap, flour expensive, hopefully umbrellas. Perfect. And now let's make sure we're at the right capacity for our store. So, bam, we have a current capacity per hour 15, building limit 15. So you can see the rounded shelves give you 15. The point of sales give you 20, and the product panel gives you 10. So like I mentioned, you can't go over, so 20, but it's still at 15. But you can be under. And so if I were to take these umbrellas away, you'll notice that it now says 10. All right. Before we open the store, I'm going to make sure we're well energized and well fed. So I'm going to head over to this little coffee shop right here. We're going to order a croissant and a cup of coffee. And that's one cool thing about this game is you can order products from different stores. So you're able to check out their prices and the product offerings. So once we check out, I'll click into that one more time to see if you guys a feel for it. All right,
To
great.
look into your business.
Bye. And
Continue.
we'll drink our cup of coffee and our croissant first. And so you'll see this is a donut shop, right? But it also has ice cream. It has croissants. It has cupcake and sodas. So you don't necessarily associate ice cream or maybe a cupcake with a donut shop, but you're able to get it. And these are just product offerings that are in additional to the normal stuff, which is a donut and cup of coffee. We're going to go ahead and buy one more so that we can get up to full energy, hopefully, and for full food. And we'll head over to our store. Drink our cup of coffee, eat our croissant. So we're still not at full energy, but that's okay. Hopefully, we'll be able to run the rest of the day with the store open. Now, before we open it, one last thing, and that is to set our prices. So head over to inventory and pricing, and you can see the lowest market value. And we're just going to be like a regular old business and shortchange our competitors just a little bit. So 23, we'll sell umbrellas for 30.50. Flour cheap, we'll go ahead and put it for 32. And flour expensive, we'll put it for, let's say, 51. And that's it. Oh, sorry. One last thing is our schedule. So right now, it's Tuesday. Our store is set to open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Since we got started a little bit late, we'll go ahead and open from 3 p.m. till the end of the day, and we'll see what we make. And I'll catch you guys on the other side of this when we're done working. So our store is officially open. We're working the cash register, and we're going to start working and skip ahead. All right.
Congratulations, you're finally earning your own money. Feels good, doesn't it? You built a store and the customers showed up. And then they all started trashing the place. Let's clean it up before your next shift.
Hello. So I see you opened a business in our neighborhood, the garment district. Listen, Junge, you're more than welcome here, but really remember who owns this neighborhood. So don't get any big ideas. Cheers.
Well, look at this. A fellow business owner messaged you. Now, don't worry about this too much for right now. You're too small for them to care about. But you keep growing, and you might find yourself locked in a bitter rivalry.
All right. So a couple things happened as soon as we ended our shift. We got a new goal from Uncle Fred, and luckily we jumped ahead of that. We purchased the cleaning station earlier, so we didn't have to go do it again, and we can clean our store. That way it's fresh and clean for first thing tomorrow morning when we open up again. Then we got a message from one of our rivals, Ingrid. She is the garment district primary rival, so she went ahead and threatened us a little bit, and we're able to see her in the rival screen and check her out. She's also added as a contact, so we can click this and view her anytime. And the other thing that happened is you can see in my employees, we have a pending candidate. So Matthew Perez would like to work for us. He's a customer service and he has 10% customer service, which is dreadfully awful. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to hire him because he's cheap. We can throw him on the schedule tomorrow, first thing. And now we have our store open for a couple more hours, which is exciting. So he's going to go ahead, he's going to work 9 hours for us. And when you set your schedule, you're able to copy the schedule and replace it on each day. So Matthew was a full-time employee. He wants to work full-time hours. And so I'm going to just put him on the 5 days of the week. We'll worry about Saturday and Sunday when we get there. But now we have someone able to work our store from midnight till 9 a.m., which is great. Then we can pick up at 9 a.m. and go until 4 p.m. All right. Our store is open. Matthew's at the register because we hired him. We're going to pick up our broom and start cleaning. As you can see, it is disgusting. Our cleanliness is at 89% though, so it's not too bad. And we're cleaning. And now Uncle Fred is going to give us the goal to hire employees later on. We jumped that a little bit. That's okay.
Oh, pop the champagne because you got your first business up and running. Now look, I'm headed to a golf tournament now, but if you keep things stocked and clean, you'll be fine. I believe in you. Call me when you think you can afford to start hiring employees.
All right, we jumped ahead of Uncle Fred. We're going to call him right now and see what he would like us to do to start with employees.
Boy, you should see the customers flooding in now. But with more customers, you'll start to hear more complaining. They're always complaining about something. Even still, you should make the place look nicer for them. Remember, happier customers spend more money.
All right, we have a couple more objectives from Uncle Fred, and these are going to be the last ones we tackle in this episode. So we have the goal of increasing our interior score to at least 20%. That's nice and easy. So we're going to go ahead and click on Interior Designer. And Interior Designer gives you the ability to do a whole bunch of adjustments to your store. We'll start with the wall tool. And the more expensive something is, the better it is going to do for your score. So right now our interior score is 14%. Just changing that one little wall puts us at 21%. That's actually all I'm going to do for now. Later on, our store is going to look a lot better. We're going to have nicer floors. We're going to have nicer walls. But since this is all he wants for our goal, I'm just going to do that small thing. But we also have the ability to change palette. So let's say I wanted this to look like our wall. We can make those adjustments. So we have a black counter. I don't think we can do anything else with that, but now our counter's black. I'm not actually going to keep it that way. Say we wanted this to look different. We could do that. So you get the idea. You can match your shelves, your walls, your floor to create a whole atmosphere for your store. So I'm going to go ahead and click Apply. And we'll go through what each of these mean when we're walking through and building out our entire store. For now, I'm going to go ahead and click Apply and check that off. Now that we have an employee, I'm actually going to go in here and click on Settings and set a customer service uniform. So there's the default configuration. You can preset it as there's the default configuration. You can preset it how you would like. So we're in a nice little gift shop. We'll make him wear a polo. I think blue's fine. I think gray pants, maybe the black pants. They look a little bit better. I am not one for any type of fashion, so this is more than likely going to look awful. And for the women, we'll do the same thing if possible. Not seeing any polos. So we'll give her, I feel like that blazer's just overkill. We'll give her a shirt. The only issue is it won't be the same color, but black. We'll have her wear black pants, no hat, and that's going to be our default for customer service uniforms. All right, because the store that we can go to purchase the bathroom stall and the modular sink is going to be closed, as well as New York Distro for the items. So I think this is a perfect time to cut this episode. We'll leave it here. We'll pick up in the next episode at our apartment, waking up. We'll head over to New York Distro to buy the top items for our store. And we'll also head over to Essentials Appliances, which is where we're going to be able to buy the bathroom stall and the modular sink. And we'll continue on building this successful business. This episode was great. Thank you guys for joining me on it. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe so we can get me in your algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Thank you.